The Nun is the latest movie in the Conjuring universe, and it's directed by Corin Hardy and it stars Tessa Farmiga. Now, just like other movies in the Conjuring universe, what they do is they take certain characters that were very popular in the Conjuring movies and give them a spin-off movie, just like Annabelle, and the latest one to do that is The Nun, aka Valak. So this movie's set in 1952 in Romania, and what happens is there's what looks like a suicide by one of the nuns. We see that at the start of the movie, and this priest and a young sister go to investigate to find out what happened. But as they're doing that, they find out that the church that they're in has a very big past, and that's what this story is all about. Now, I'll start with the negatives for this film. Now, the biggest negative that I have for this film is the fact that it's turned itself into a jump scare movie. Now, there are jump scares in the Conjuring and Annabelle movies, but this one seems to be just relying on the jump scares, whereas movies like The Conjuring, they do have jump scares, but they have this big build-up scene. They've got build-ups the last 2-3 minutes, and you get scared without the jump scenes, and that's what makes the Conjuring universe really good. But this movie relies heavily, if not solely, on the jump scares, so I think that was a really bad way to make this movie. They could have done a lot with the setting that they had, but they decided just to go that jump scare route, and it just didn't work. The story of Valak was very weak and unbelievable. I know we're in an unbelievable universe, but they made this a little bit more unbelievable with certain things that happened back in medieval times, bring us to 1952. I won't mention that because it may spoil some part of the movie for you, so I won't mention that, but the story was very weak and it relied heavily on the Valak character, but Valak was hardly in the movie, so it just didn't work at all. The storyline, like I said, it was too weak, and with that story being weak, the character development was weak. I didn't really care for the characters. Now, for a film being called The Nun, you would expect there to be nuns in this film, and there was quite a lot of nuns in this film, and ironically I think that was a bad thing about this film. There were too many nuns in the movie, too many nuns that you didn't see, too many nuns that didn't do anything, and too many nuns that didn't make any sense. The only nun that you wanted to really see was Valak, and like I said, Valak was hardly in the movie. There might have been script changes, I don't know for definite, but with the promos that we saw for this film and the sneak peeks that we saw, I expected to see Bonnie Aarons as a nun in this film, maybe set a little bit earlier than 1952, and how she became Valak, or how Valak the demon took over her. They didn't explain that at all. It seems to be that she was always this, or Valak was always this nun. It took the form of a nun so that it could mingle in with the regular nuns in the church. But you didn't see what happened to Bonnie Aarons, because Bonnie Aarons never existed as a character. She was always this Valak presence as a nun, so I thought we were going to see a little bit of backstory with Valak's nun, but we didn't. She was already this nun from the beginning to the end of the movie. Now, another negative is something that I was really looking forward to in this film, and that was to see the tie-in with the Conjuring universe. That was something I was looking forward to. Now, halfway through this movie, I already decided that it wasn't that great of a movie, and in fact it wasn't really that good. So I was saying to myself, right, okay, they must be saving something up for this twist ending or this tie-in ending. And all the way through the movie, that's all I could really think about, because I accepted the fact that the movie wasn't going to be that great. In fact, it wasn't a bad movie, it was just a boring movie. But so that made me want to see what happens at the very end. And what happened at the end was very, very weak. There was a good battle at the end with Valak, but after that, with the tie-in with the Conjuring universe, which I won't mention, it was very, very weak. And it's something that a kid could have wrote for you. It was that bad. And again, it just kind of tied in with the rest of the movie being very boring and very weak. Now, so far in the Conjuring universe, it's only characters in the Conjuring movies that have had their spin-off movies. So for example, in Annabelle and Annabelle Creation, there hasn't been a spin-off of any characters in that movie. Although the Scarecrow in Annabelle Creation was pretty creepy and could probably have its own movie. In this film, in The Nun, it looks like they're trying to build up a character called Daniel. If you've seen the movie, you'll know who I'm talking about. There's a character called Daniel in this movie that they give a lot of screen time to, and it's as if they're trying to build Daniel up to have his own movie. I hope that they don't, because that Daniel was very, very annoying and pointless. So I think that, and I hope that they stick to the Conjuring movies with characters in those to create spin-off movies. But Daniel, for me, I hope that they don't make a spin-off of Daniel. So we'll move on to the positives. There's 2 positives for me, and they're not that bad. The first positive being the Valak, the character itself. Now, I do like Valak, and I liked Valak in The Conjuring 2, so I was hoping to see lots of Valak in this. We didn't, unfortunately. However, the times that we saw Valak, it was very scary. And what I liked about any time Valak came on screen was the score that they used throughout the movie. They had this sort of Conjuring style theme, the kind of basically the score rose up, and with the score rising up, you kind of get that sense of dread. And that was good. Every time that happened, every time Valak came on screen, we had that score come on. So that was good. There's only one more positive, and that's the way the movie was filmed. It reminded me of Annabelle Creation, the style that they used, the style of cinematography, the kind of light fog that they used, and the lanterns, the way they used the lighting was very creative. It was a creative movie, and that's what frustrated me most, because there's so many things they could have done with the lighting that they used, with the cinematography, with the setting that they had. This movie was filmed in Romania solely, and it was just so beautiful to look at, but they spoiled it. Everything was spoiled with the storyline. But yes, the style, the cinematography style, the lighting, everything like that was great production value. That was a positive, but the way they utilised it was a complete negative. I'd say that most of the characters in this film were pointless. In fact, every character was pointless bar one, and I can't tell you which one, because that would ruin the tie-in for the Conjuring universe. And to be honest, I still wouldn't have put this person as being the tie-in, because again, it was very lazy writing, and it's as if they had nowhere to go with the nun, so they decided to just tie that nun and the character person that I can't tell you, just to make it a Conjuring universe movie. It felt to me like the history of Valak and the whole film itself could have been shortened down to a 3-minute video, maybe putting it in the Conjuring 3, I don't know, and having like a flashback scene of what happened with Valak back in the 1950s. It was a 3-minute movie spread into 90 minutes, and it was just pointless. So overall guys, I didn't really like The Nun. I would say it's the worst movie in the Conjuring universe, unfortunately. It's not a bad movie. It's a movie that I would probably watch again in home video, but it's not a movie I'd rush out to buy, not a movie I'd rush to see again. It was a below average horror movie with some good jump scares, but the jump scares is something that it heavily relied on. So if you've seen The Nun guys, if you have, leave your comments down below. Where would you rank this in the Conjuring universe? Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching again, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.